the village of Badwell Ash. This is the Church of St Mary. And this clock is on the wrong time. It's got a very sophisticated looking porch with lots of different elements in it, in stone and flint, and a lattice door, and an extension that runs between that and the main building and the tower. And the church is set right on the main village street. Little houses opposite. There's no gate now, but there's a little gravel path running up to the main entrance. And all the grass has been quite well cared for. It's short, cut. It's a mixture of old graves and new graves. A lot of flowers here. It's lovely. And there's houses overlooking the graveyard. The clock is strange. It's set on top of a window almost, as if it was just placed there, almost ad lib. There's a variation in the flint between this part of the tower and the next. And this section here is definitely a later part, as you can see from the bottom where it's all different. It looks like that area joined up maybe, and that was repaired. I don't know, it's difficult to say. There again, the porch here is all completely different flint face. Quite a mixture actually. That's nice. Door at the back. The churchyard comes to an abrupt end, really quite close to the church because of the village. We've got an old-fashioned tin bin. This looks like the remains of some work here. Difficult to say. Not a very attractive area. And there's no graves at this part of the church. There's a door that's been added by the look of it, and some brickwork supporting that extension. A few grave stones here at the end of the churchyard.
In memory of Maria, the wife of James Morley, who died November 1860, aged 25 years. Also Anna Maria, their infant daughter, who died October 1861, aged 11 months.
Another sad story of history, that we know nothing other than what we see there. Peaceful place and lovely setting here. Massive window here, stained glass at the end, with evidence yet again of work being done to this wall. So that window looks as if it's been in there for some time, apart from the top, which looks newer. Entrance there, a small wooden door. All the graves here are older, early to mid-Victorian. And the similarity between all these headstones. These walls here on the flint look very old. This looks like possibly an older building. Maybe the original. It's difficult to tell here. This building is, I think, created from something smaller originally. It looks like we stepped down here into this porch. Quite a tall porch here with plain glass leaded on this side and identical window this side. We step down into this church. Very heavy old door. And that's beautiful. Not certain what this is, but it looks like a coffin or it's a trunk of some sort. Plain glass window at the end, letting a lot of light in here. The floor is very old and worn, and it's red and black tiles. And the font here, quite ornate, with no cover at the top. And an organ with beautifully painted pipes. We look down the church and it's very effective. We've got a very light walls and very dark wood. It's got an almost Spanish feel to it, strangely. These windows are lovely. They're large and they're plain glass, leaded and letting a lot of light through, and they're tall, very impressive. Ceiling is extremely high. Lots of carving up there. And then a row of windows on that side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we've got the central aisle here with the extension on that side. Flower arrangement there in front of that little door. And we've got a very high pulpit here. With 2 candle holders. 1, 2, and a lovely view of the church here. And 3 rows of pews. And some here facing. This church has got a feeling of age about it. And a church that feels that it's been well used. See, all the walls have been painted and where the stone is on the edge. The floor here is very worn. Well worn, I should say. Everyone's been stepping off of the stone here onto the tiles. There's carpet running down to the altar. And these pews here are wonderfully carved. memorials at the side here on the wall. 2 and this here. Got a dado running around this area where the altar is, and memorials either side, and a very detailed stained glass window behind the altar, very large, very detailed. I would think that was an expensive window in its time. More memorials here. This is the exit from the church. All the electrical wiring and switching, which is a pity that it couldn't have been placed a bit more sympathetically in the church or covered up. And at the end of the church is one plain glass window which lets light stream in through into the church. It's quite well lit, this church. And at the side of the church here, where we've got a little chapel area, there's another stained glass window there again, very, very involved. Lots going on in that window. There's a memorial here on the ground, or a grave. This area is carpeted, and it looks like something that perhaps some children did here. Jesus, light of the world. There's a heater here, little radiator, though I don't expect it would give off a lot of heat for this church. And the church is suffering from damp because it's actually lower than ground level here. We had to step down into this church, which doesn't really help the fabric of the building. And it's much lighter on that side. So we've got 2 stained glass windows in this church. And the rest of them are plain glass, which is just as well because the church benefits from all the light that is getting in. It's a large building, and the font is in a darker area. And very worn steps. This church has had a lot of wear. This is a very, very big door. I know I've said it, but it is. Back out into the warm sunshine on a beautiful day in May. We find the village of Badwell Ash and the Church of St. Mary. Sad, really. This looks like a church that over the years has had many people attend it, but now it's very quiet, apart from the passing motorbikes. So it's not the quiet little village church that it once was.